All right, Bob the Boat Builder here. Back to show you how to get the sides and the bottom taped together. It's important that it's all taped together really tight. And what I mean by tight is like up here you can see there's little to no space in between the bottom panel and the side panels. We call this a seam. So this seam is really tight right now up here. You can tell further back here it's wide open, and we'll have to work on that using the taping technique I'm about to show you. And the reason why we need this all nice and tight is so that your boat doesn't leak. And so that when we go to turn it over and start putting glue, pouring glue in between the molds into that seam, that the glue doesn't just fall out. All right? So our goal for today is to tape the sides and the bottom together so that it looks like that. And a small crack, or sorry, a small gap like that where you can see through it a little bit, that's probably going to be okay. What I would suggest though is make sure you have some tape over top of it just to hold the glue in for right now, if you have some small gaps like that. And especially back here at the back corners, at the transom or the stern of the boat, it's almost impossible to, I don't want to say impossible, but it's very difficult to get everything to fit together perfectly tight back here. So again, a little bit of a gap there is okay. Just put some tape over to cover it so that the glue doesn't pour out when we put the glue in on the other side. And we can go back later once the boat's off the jig and fill in with glue paste or just regular wood glue to fill in any other gaps that we have in the seam. All right, let me show you this taping technique. I've gone ahead and lined myself up, pulled off a bunch of pieces of tape. I think I've got about 6 ready to go right here. They're about 4 to 6 inches long. It doesn't have to be precise. I usually just check to see is it about the width of my hand, a little bit bigger. I'm using blue tape just because it's easier for you to see on camera. And what you want to do is you want to start with the tape on the inside of your boat. So I'm putting the tape in between mold 1 and 2 on the inside of my boat. And I'm really making sure that it's stuck well. So I'm rubbing the tape to make sure it's stuck well. And if your boat isn't, if the sides and the bottom aren't touching, you're going to need to pinch as you pull up on the tape. And this is important. I'm pulling up, right? I'm creating some tension there with the tape, pulling up so that then when I wrap it over top, it's really tight. There's no slack, there's no extra tape. It's really just folding over really tight and nice. And that's going to hold the bottom and the side together right there. I'm going to just keep alternating sides. So let's go over here to the other side. And again, I'm starting with the tape inside of the boat, making sure it's on nice and stuck really well inside. And if there's a little bit of a gap right there, I can pinch it. Right? I can pinch the sides as I pull up. Something I didn't mention yet, but I think is really important and worth mentioning, is that you want to make sure that your bottom panel sits on the inside of your side panels. You can see it right here really well. So this bottom panel sits on the inside edge of your side panels. It's not on top, right? It's not sitting up here on top of the side panels. It's on the inside of our side panels. And if yours is like mine and the side panel is sitting up a little bit proud, sticking up a little bit above the bottom panel right there, I've got a little bit of a lip right there, that's okay. You don't want much, but a little bit is okay. We can always sand that off later. If you do start to notice it's too much, it means that you've got to kind of press the boat down a little bit further. But again, a little bit's okay. The most important part is that this bottom panel sits on the inside of the side panels. All right, let's keep taping. Again, we're just alternating sides using these pieces of tape. Starting them off inside of your boat. Here, you can see it here. I'm also making sure not to bring the tape all the way down to that inside corner, just kind of sticking it onto the side panel right there. There we go. All right. And so, again, really important that I am pulling up on the tape, putting a lot of tension there, and pulling it over top as tight as I can. That's really going to help get these two pieces together tight and to have it all hold together well. And making sure the tape is really sticking. Let's go to this side now. And you can see I've got a gap right here between these two. And watch how this taping technique just fixes that. Again, making sure it sticks really well on the inside. Pinching the two pieces together, pulling up tight on the tape, and sticking it down on the bottom. Great. Alternating sides. Pull up, create that tension so that the tape goes on really tight. All right, and now as we get to the very back of our boat here, again, pinch in, get rid of that little gap right there. All right. I'm going to need to move this rubber band off now, or I can even just move it forward a little bit. That's probably what I'll do. But I got to get it out of my way so that I can get tape right here at the stern for the back of the boat. And this is definitely the most difficult part, where you're likely going to still have somewhat of a gap here. That's okay. But if you can get it all the way, definitely go for it. I think mine just went really well right there. All right. I need one more piece of tape. I didn't quite have enough. All right. Here we go. Last piece of tape. Excellent. All right, this boat is all taped up and ready to be glued on the inside. I'll show you that in our next video.